Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby. Once again, it's on. Malika Andrews in the building.
It's a family affair.
Thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate you. I've been wanting to do that for 8 years. For 8 years now. Okay, let's let the professionals sing.
Your day job, Jared.
Well, you obviously are covering the Nets and the Knicks and the whole league for ESPN, and we just happened to have a great game from the Nets last night against the Grizzlies. Ja Morant had a bit of a coming out party. He was going back and forth against Kyrie Irving all night long, and then there was this play to force overtime, and then this play to end the game. He drops the ball for Jay Crowder for the win.
Boom.
Malika, was this a Ja Morant coming out party that we just witnessed?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you just saw Ja Morant go up against an elite point guard in this league and hold his own. That doesn't happen for every rookie. And the other thing is, it wasn't all through scoring. Like we just saw, he dished the ball out, and that's what's important, because the other night we saw Kyrie Irving drop 50 points. They still lost. He had 25 points at halftime, Kyrie did. He only had 3 assists. And so the fact that it was a well-rounded game by Ja, not just like an offensive, I'm going to put it up every single time, that's big time. That's big time.
Here's one of the things that Kyrie is going to have to fight. As a volume primary ball handler, took 27 shots, did have 37. Not necessarily a great defender, did give up 30. Do you feel like there may be an issue at some point if his percentages aren't effective, that all of a sudden it's stymieing the growth of the players around him?
Absolutely. And I mean, that's what they're working on at this point. At this point, it's about assimilating Kyrie Irving into the lineup, because last year this was a basketball team that was starless, and so they had to share the load. They had to share that weight. And so we asked a bunch of the guys the other day, was there a tendency to step back and to just say, wow, look at what Kyrie is doing, as opposed to kind of be in it? And that's something that on both sides they're going to have to fight. The guys like Spencer Dinwiddie are going to have to worry about getting in the game and not just sitting back and watching. And Kyrie is also going to have to worry about getting those guys involved, because as we saw, they play their best when other guys are scoring too.
What would you think would be realistic expectations for these Nets? Just sort of like realistically, like what sort of seed do you think they could end up in the East?
I mean, I think they're going to end up probably about where they were last year. They finished They were 6th seed last year.
Yeah, 42 and 40.
Yeah, they're going to be around the 5, 6, and part of that's because the top of the East also looks a little bit different. It's not just that the Nets are going to be pretty good. They'll be decent, but also you don't have some of those same teams potentially finishing where they did last year. So I think 5 seed, 6, 5, 6 is where we're looking.
Well, the expectations for the Warriors just keep going down, because they didn't just lose to the Thunder. They got absolutely waxed.
Yeah, they got
waxed. And after the game, Draymond Green, as he always does, kept it all the way real. Let's check in on Mr. Green.
The reality is we suck right now, and hopefully we'll get better. We'll continue working at it and try to get better, but we're just not that good right now. Kind of figure it won't be the same, but I didn't think we'd be getting our ass kicked like this. It's pretty bad.
I feel so bad for Draymond. What do you make of the Warriors' first couple games?
It makes me sad.
You're from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh no.
Well, and the thing is, I saw a sheet on Facebook that was like, a bandwagon fill out form. Like, when did you join the Warriors? When did you join the Warriors fan sheet? Was it when KD signed? Was it the back-to-back? Where are you jumping next? Whatever team Zion's on, the Lakers, the Clippers. And the thing is, I remember going to games back when the Warriors were trash. I remember booing the front office when they traded away Monte Ellis and put in Steph Curry. This is when he was a scrawny little guy. So I remember these days, but they were a distant memory, man. It was like, yes, it's all worth it because now is the time. And this is tough. This is a tough pill to swallow, especially because they have good pieces, right? And you want to root for Steph to do well, for Draymond to do well, especially because these are, the good guys, the guys that stuck around, the guys that have been there since those days. Oh, but man, it's just, it's not good. And Steph should be carrying this team a little bit more. Draymond should be carrying this team a little bit more. And D'Angelo Russell can't get tossed. I get it. I get the urge to want to. I wouldn't want to play in that game either. But they got to come together a little bit more. so that Steve Kerr doesn't have to keep going back to his locker and chugging beers.
Right.
There's going to be some of those nights.
So that's why the best backcourt in the league featured two people, and they were called Splash Brothers. And this is where you miss a guy like Klay Thompson.
Absolutely.
We know his value. He's been on the Olympic team, got a big deal, multi-time All-Star, All-NBA, All-Defense conversation. But how much of him not being on the floor affects Steph Curry, who now replaces him with D'Angelo Russell, who's not a defender?
It's huge. I mean, it's huge, and it's coming out on the court. It is very easy to see the issues that they're having without a guy like Klay Thompson. Not just from a basketball standpoint, but from a pick-me-up standpoint, from a you guys were building together standpoint. It's demoralizing. And I mean, I don't blame Draymond for being frustrated. It's a frustrating situation. And obviously, we knew they weren't going to be the Warriors of yesteryear. And I don't think anyone thought they were going to be, losing by double digits to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Let's just display
They're
exactly
down 70
how
to 37
bad
at
it has been.
halftime.
Let's just show just how bad it has been for the Warriors, because Steph Curry, as you mentioned, 4 for 20 from three in the first two games. They've allowed 261 points. Third team over the last 20 seasons to not hold a lead for a single second. Not hold a lead for a single second in the first two games. That's not good. And that can make you yell at a referee. That can make you curse a little bit in the post-game interview.
But if you're D'Angelo Russell, you got to take a step back now. He made the All-Star game, but in the East. I don't necessarily know that he's proven that he can be a perennial All-Star. So now you go to a team that just made 5 finals. They're getting thumped. To your point, can't get ejected.
No.
You got to take it.
I know it's
You got
tough.
to take your beat down.
Especially because this is a team, their tagline, it wasn't strengthen Steph, it was strengthen numbers. Their motto has been, all right, next man up, next man up, next man up. And that's how they keep doing. If they don't have D'Angelo, that's one less next man up that they can use to put in.
Well, the Rockets beat the Pelicans by 3 on Saturday. Westbrook had 28, Harden 29. Nice balanced game from the two of them, but it's this play that I really want to talk about. You got James Harden with the ball here. You see, then he's frustrated. Bang! Hits himself in the head.
Wait, look at Josh Hart's face. He's just like,
he's like, what are you doing? Jalen, what do you think of this play?
He lucky he didn't get a concussion.
Yeah.
Real spill. And the other thing, a great craftsman never blames his tools. He did that in this case, Malika, and he got hit in the face with the basketball.
are you saying that if you didn't have that facial hair situation, you wouldn't lean on it a little bit?
Good point.
Well, he did
Come
discuss
on.
it after the game. Let's catch up with James Harden in the post.
I like what you did there.
When you slammed the ball at the end of the first half, did that hurt?
No, I got my beard, so it just protected it.
Like a pillow, huh?
Yeah. Malika, you pointed out the most important part of that sound, though.
The laugh at the
Laugh
end.
at the end. Ha
I mean, that's a Kawhi level laugh.
It was.
It was. It's like when Kawhi does it, we clown him, but when James does it, we let him get away with it. James just cool. There's something about him that's just cool.
And hey, there's something to be said about a goofy laugh. Like that's something to be known for. So I can appreciate it, but I
Sound like
think
you know
it should
from
get a little more.
experience? Is anyone?
I don't want to talk about it.
It is now time for Soft Mover Boss Move. Jalen, you were supporting your hometown team over the weekend, the Detroit Pistons, and you're famous and rich. So where'd you sit?
Front row.
Front row, of course, courtside seats. I've had the honor of sitting courtside once. I was in the baseline just like you were, and you're so close to the action. But Jalen, there's a video of you going around where you got a little too close to the action. You stood up. We're on the baseline yelling at the team. Malika. Coaching from courtside, screaming at the team.
Oh my God.
Soft mover, boss move.
Jalen. What? I mean, no one is going to miss you in that Santa Claus red leather jacket. So it's not like you are hiding when you are doing. You look like one of those dads who gets overzealous in a peewee game.
It's exactly what it felt like.
Soft
Give it to him, Malika.
Move.
Give it to him, Malika.
What are you doing, sir?
You're grown.
Sit down. Sit down.
Sit down.
If we're gonna rip Drake for giving shoulder massages,
You can come back
that's
every
the
day, Malika. You can
same
come
realm.
back every day, Malika.
Soft move. You got to excuse yourself, man.
Jalen, what happened?
I was just emotionally invested in the game. And
So
I
put
didn't-
your hands up and put your hands together.
I didn't realize how it looked until you just showed me the video.
Did you think
Did
you were
anyone
wearing
come
your
over and be like,
secret
Mr. Rose,
suit?
Mr. Rose, you okay? Mr. Rose, you okay?
They weren't
Y'all got
calling him
me.
Mister.
Y'all
They were
got
saying,
You got nothing to say. It's the
Sir.
first time in 8 years you had nothing to say. Nothing to say at all.
You're right, Malika.
Malika Andrews, you are welcome to come back anytime, especially if you clown Jalen Rose like you just did. Especially if you clown Jalen like you just did. You can come back you can replace me. You can replace me. Just I'll watch every day. Watch Jalen get clowned. Jalen, I don't know. I know you went to the Pistons game over the weekend. Was there another
the victors.
big game in
Hail to
Michigan?
the victors.
We will get Jalen's response to the huge Wolverine win right after this.